Spring a series of riots in Middle East countries from 2011 in an effort to reform the government, for example, in Tunisia or in Libya. In this event, one of the countries taking a lot of attention is Egypt, whose regime hasn't been changed for over 30 years. The leader of Egypt at that time was Hosni Mubarak, a man already 82 years old. Good morning, President. Today we will continue to discuss about the unemployment issue and corruption. President? President?
Oh yeah. Ouch, my back and my kidney. Ow, you can just continue it. I'll just go. Oh, I in hospital now. I got diarrhea though.
At that time, Egypt was struggling with corruption and inflation. As a consequence, many social issues appeared. According to The Guardian, each year, over 700,000 graduates chase for only 200,000 jobs. With a large number of problems, only a small figure from Tunisia can create a domino phenomenon in Arab, including Egypt.
The government responded in various ways to deal with the protesters. According to CNN in 2011, in the early of the protests, which was from the 25th January until the 28th of January, the government only used the police to disperse the mass. This is precisely where the incident happened 2 years ago, where the police used tear gas, rubber bullets and water cannons to kill the demonstrators.
So issue a 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, which means that the people must not go out from their house at that time. Otherwise, they will be prosecuted by the police. But eventually, no one bothered the curfew, and instead, more and more people joined the demonstration, which reached tens of thousands of people by January 2.
This was apparently worsened by the government leader response, Mubarak, who instead of announcing his resignation, he stated that he will stay put in the 28th of January.
Check. Okay. Thank you, my people, for the protest. I'll fulfill part your demands, which are to increase the wages, concession, and strengthen the democracy. Also, I will make a reshuffle of my cabinet, but I will still stay until the next election in September.
Consequently, the citizens who participated in the protest overwhelmed the police. The government has no other choice than deploying army force to keep everything under control by the 29th January. It was also believed that the casualty from these 5 days unrest had already reached 102 people.
You could see tanks and soldiers coming from every direction from there, and eventually surrounded the mass here. And then, although according to Al Jazeera in 2011, the army forces were ordered to use live ammunition to overcome the protesters, they refused and exercised restraint, believing that they should be the one to protect the people instead of harming them. The military therefore don't take any major action and chose to be neutral. The other interesting incident was in January 2, when there appeared to be a battle between the pro-Mubarak side and the Mubarak opposing side. This was quite weird because there were not supposed to be any people that supported Mubarak at that time. The clashes occurred there, where people riding camels and bringing some weapons mixed into the crowds, and there happened to be some fighting. Later it was found out that there were actually some people who were paid by the government to disrupt the mass, while some were undercover police. Even so, they weren't successful in securing the protesters, as they were outnumbered by the number of demonstrators who increased rapidly and had already reached about 1 million. Mubarak's speech one by one seemed to be ignored, like its 1st and 3rd February speeches.
Please, people, I'm still your president, but I will not join the next election, promise. I was very unhappy about yesterday. I do not want to see Egyptians fighting each other. I don't care what people say about me. Right now, I care about my country. I care about Egypt. I will never run away. I will die on this soil.
Because the demand was clear. The only thing that could stop them was the resignation of Mubarak himself, according to Al Jazeera in 2011.
During that time, Middle East countries were asking for a lot of reformation by doing protests. That's why all the events was named Arab Spring. Knowing the news about Tunisia turmoil, Egyptians had an idea of doing the same things against the Hosni Mubarak, who is the Prime Minister of Egypt that time. Social media took a huge part in this turmoil. The spread of news and opinion that persuade Egyptians to strike down the Prime Minister in Twitter, Facebook and YouTube is the only things that make them pick fire in Egypt. We would post videos on Facebook and it would be shared by 50,000 people on their walls in hours, said Sifri in 2011. According to McGrath, activists will declare 25 January as a day of anger on Facebook and Twitter and use the social networking sites to garner support. More than 80,000 people joined the Facebook group saying they will participate in the protest.
Wow, what is sexy. See you later for more pictures. Wow, what's that? Really? Egypt, protest. I have to be there. Oops, I want to share it to my friends.
People also use the Facebook group, Facebook page, and Twitter hashtag to plan the protest. The leader, Ghanim, posts the fixed point when and where people will unite to do the protest.
Do they have free Wi-Fi here? I mean, seriously? Oh, I need to go to Starbucks. I need to take a selfie. I mean, protesting point.
Then on 25 June 2011, the turmoil was happened. Since then, the government blocked the mobile phone and the internet in Egypt. That sucks actually.
Oh, I've blocked the mobile phone, and also the internet. So now the worldwide trend won't be Egypt anymore. It'll be Justin Bieber. Yes.
Ah, I see. Well, first of all, these Egyptians revolted and did what they did because it was to protest against poverty, unemployment, government corruption, and the rule of President Hosni Mubarak, who has been in power for 3 decades. This anti-government demonstration led to Mubarak being arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment over deaths during the demonstration. Things happen for a reason, and the United Nations and I have agreed that he has violated some of the human rights law that the UN has clearly established universally. It is a universal declaration of human rights.
It was the 25th of January. We were out on the streets to riot. Loads of us marched into Cairo.
Yes, that is true. We were heading towards the offices of ruling National Democracy Party, as well as the Foreign Ministry and the State Television. It was all calm and peaceful at first, but then there was a definite divide between the protesters and the officers.
Sometime later during the protest, the police fired tear gas and used water cannons against the demonstrators.
It was said that they were shooting at us with those things because we kept on rioting against the rule of Mubarak.
You see, when a group of people shouts, "Down with Mubarak," there is clearly something wrong with that person. That I understand. However, what I do not comprehend is that he clearly violates Article 20. Everyone has a right of freedom to peaceful assembly and association.
We wanted to let out our frustration on what was going on and report things. So, I got my swag on and used my phone to tweet and Facebook.
Swag.
The fact that social media was still allowed to be on the scene is a valuable thing. Also, this means that this human right was not violated.
Good job, Mubarak.
We thought that things would not result in any bloodshed whatsoever. But a couple of people died. Mi amigo.
Oh, crap. That is in Spanish. Oh, no.
In the 27th of January, some actual shooting went on and killed a 17-year-old man. That 17-year-old man was my son.
He was just 17. I'm sorry. Things got really bad, and I guess the government wanted more control over the people, so Facebook, Twitter, BlackBerry Messenger services are disrupted. Funny, just when you thought that they would not take any more of our rights, you know?
Yeah, violate another one there, man. I know you didn't. In short, were their rights violated? Yes, definitely. A dear good friend of mine, Robert Gibbs, a spokesperson for Barack Obama, tells reporters that the government should demonstrate its responsiveness to the people of Egypt by recognizing their universal rights. This is just pure fact that, again, their rights were blatantly violated. I'm gonna put my swag on when I be an Egyptian.
Like that.
Well, that was awkward.
Yeah, he should.
Hey, ladies.
We can do like 5,000. You have to know what number you're gonna say.
50! Why is 50, man?
Just say 50 then.
Okay.
Quote 2, take 1.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's so going on the blooper roll. Okay, anyway. Okay.
Activate.